are my toiletries? Hello, welcome to GameGazm. I'm Bren.
I'm Jay, and today we've got The Witcher 3.
Tatamria!
Once we were many. Now we are few. Hunters, killers of the world's filth. Witchers, the ultimate killing machines.
It's finally here. Pinch me. Nope, I'm not dreaming. The Witcher 3 has landed, and for the love of ghouls and grog, it looks flippin' marvellous. The opening front end of the game is stunning, showing off its stupendous graphical prowess, and does a great job of easing you into the start of what will be your gaming life for the next 200 plus hours.
The voice acting is great, even though the script may have turned us into immature children at times.
Geralt, stop fingering my toiletries.
And conversations, right from the word go, flow really nicely. Utilising the long tried and tested dialogue selection wheel, conversations flow as you'd expect them. But the camera work during these little exchanges, whether talking to a main character or Joe Bloggs the Merchant, are all very engaging. They have even gone to the effort of giving characters from different areas their own accents, making you feel like you're really part of a huge, diverse world.
After some lengthy introductions to the world and characters, you're let off the leash to do as you wish. Roam villages, take on quests and jobs from notice boards, chat to villagers, search abandoned buildings, or just walk through a field of wheat and forget about everything. As you may have guessed, The Witcher 3 plays like everything else you've played that's vaguely like it. Swords?
Check.
Magic?
Check.
Quests?
Check.
Minimap?
Check.
Okay, so skipping all that you already know, what does The Witcher do differently?
Well, it does it all, and much better. The combat is slick and very well balanced. The magic system utilises a radial wheel that slows time whilst you choose your magical attacks. And Geralt can use his Witcher sense to seek out interactables and track animals or people. You can also now vault obstacles, swim, jump, fight from atop your horse, and now use crossbows too. Handy for taking down those pesky flying griffins. Yeah.
Progress through the story is rather slow. You need to complete other tasks in order to level up Geralt enough to take on the tougher missions. Some of these are easy, and some of them will lead you off on a mini-adventure. But all the while, it's an enjoyable experience. The side quests have had as much care and attention put into them as the main quest has, so it never feels like you're grinding.
One thing to note is that The Witcher 3's day-night cycle is much longer than most games. Each in-game minute is 5 real-time seconds, so that means that one day in Temeria is 2 hours real-time, 1 hour of daylight and 1 hour of night. That's pretty long, to be fair. Different times of the day mean different enemies and items can appear. For example, at night, werewolves are at their most powerful state, especially on a full moon, so keep that silver sword by your side.
It feels at some times like the game has been made not by a gaming developer, but by some sort of otherworldly talent. However, there are a few down points. Sometimes you'll come across the odd glitch, and this isn't bad, but a glitch like this with the water going all weird can take you out of the immersion and remind you that it was made by mere mortals. We're not saying it ruins it, but in a game this ambitious you should always expect the odd glitch here and there. But we can say with confidence that throughout the entire game, there are 99.99% less problems than Assassin's Creed Unity.
You really won't let that go, will you?
No, Jason, I won't. Fuppin' Ubisoft.
Thick shaft.
You will also notice that the frame rate does stutter during some cutscenes, and the in-game camera is so jittery it's sometimes painful to the eyes. The player controls could also do with a bit of tweaking, as the amount of times we ran into doors and walls was excessive. Not to mention how tough swimming can be, and don't get me started on the horse.
Nay, Jason. Nay. What you realise from playing The Witcher 3 is that you're playing Skyrim crossed with Red Dead Redemption with a smattering of Dragon Age. Picking up loot, selling it, doing quests, buying from merchants, and generally being a badass with a sword. But it's more than that. The main quest is awesome. The scripting, the items, the locations, Geralt's gruff narration and cinematic camera work has been included into pretty much everything that you do, making the whole game feel fluid at all times. It doesn't feel like you're straying from the main quest to do a couple of side quests, it just feels like the path that you have chosen.
It would be criminal to say this game is anything less than a must-buy for you adventure fans and RPG lovers, but we have to score it, and due to some poor design flaws with the camera, player controls and overall polish, we're giving it a GameGazm 9.
Yes, it's not without its problems, but they are tiny problems in the grand scheme of things. But we are more than getting fed up with unfinished games. It's getting old, and as a result, game pre-orders on the whole dropped by a whopping 20%. But if you're a fan of sword swinging and exploration that's nigh on perfect, then you just have to get this. Simply divine.
So there you go with The Witcher 3. So despite its few flaws, it's a brilliant game.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's. I've heard a few people saying it's not as open world as you might expect, and I suppose it is kind of linear, really. It does kind of push you through those main quests, doesn't it? And all the side quests are kind of there to level you up to be able to do the next quest. So it is kind of linear, but not at the same time. I guess
The areas are still huge.
They are.
You can get lost.
Yeah.
I mean, we just randomly explored a random hut that we found and found a
some
treasure
hidden
trove
stuff.
underneath. And
Yeah.
so there's secrets to find, and when we were playing for hours, and it feels like we've barely scratched the surface of some areas.
Yeah, it's you could like skim over areas, or you can just search every nook and cranny, and it's going to be a worthwhile adventure for the next few months. It's going to see us. Well, wow, you know, you could play that again and again, and just for hours and hours and discover new things all the time. So if you like that kind of thing, which I'm sure you do, then go and get it, because it's awesome. And anyway, that's all the time we've got for today. If you liked the video, don't forget to leave a like and also subscribe if you haven't already. I've been Bren.
I've been Jay.
And we've been GameGazm.
What if I told you about fingering my toiletries, boy? What have you got to say for yourself?
Well,
Don't speak to me. I'm watching you.